Bernie Sanders is accused of being a sexist. We're going to talk about it right here on TBTV. Bernie Sanders, he has not announced that he's running in 2020, but that he is very much considering it, and some people are kind of pissed off about that. They want Bernie to go ahead and throw your hat in the ring. Bernie, stop playing around. But while he's been waiting, other people have jumped out of the gate. Well, sometimes people set you up. And sometimes people take the initiative and catch you and put you on your heels. And that's sort of like what's been happening with media, because Bernie's not really running and they're already launching attacks on him. Women who worked for the Bernie Sanders campaign in 2016 say complaints of sexism and mistreatment were not addressed, and that it could hinder a 2020 bid. There have been people who have come out and said that they were harassed while they worked on the Sanders campaign as volunteers or as staff, and that they reported this, and they didn't have really a good structure in place for the reporting, so that's one problem. The other problem was once it was reported, people kind of ignored it. Nothing was done. In fact, they had insult to injury. People were like, well, hey, one woman says when she reported, they told her, hey, well, you would like it if he was a little bit younger. It was something wrong with you if you don't want somebody hitting on you. You like guys, don't you? What's wrong with it? I mean, it's like crazy stuff, right, that you should not do. Now, these are allegations. I don't know if they're true, but that's what people are saying. Bernie Sanders was in an interview with Anderson Cooper where Anderson asked him about it, and Sanders said,
I want to ask you about an article that was published in the New York Times today. In it are allegations describing episodes of sexual harassment and demeaning treatment, as well as pay disparity in your 2016 campaign. I'm wondering, were you aware of those allegations during the campaign? And if you do run into 2020, how can you ensure something like that doesn't happen again?
Good question. And the answer is, Anderson, I'm very proud of the campaign we ran in 2016. We started at 4% of the polls. We ended up winning 22 states, 13 million votes. I think we changed the nature of political discourse in this country, raising issues that are now kind of mainstream, which were then considered extreme and fringe.
And all of that is true. Every bit of what he just said was true. It is also irrelevant. Yeah, it's irrelevant. Look, if someone says you had a problem on your campaign with sexual harassment, and you say, we ran a great campaign, we got a lot of votes, that don't have anything to do, like you just voted over the issue that we need to talk about. And that's part of the problem, right? Part of the problem, part of the allegations, one of the allegations is that he was unresponsive to the complaints. It wasn't that Bernie did anything, like he did. No one's accused Bernie Sanders of touching anyone in an inappropriate way or propositioning anyone. Just that his campaign was horrible when it came to handling allegations. It wasn't set up to handle it well, and that he was kind of busy and not really paying attention. And you have to think about other people. You have to.
But when our campaign grew from, I think we started with 3 or 4 paid employees, and over a period of a few months, as the campaign exploded, we went up to, I think, 1,200 employees. And I am not going to sit here and tell you that we did everything right in terms of human resources, in terms of addressing the needs that I'm hearing from now, that women felt disrespected, that there was sexual harassment, which was not dealt with as effectively as possible. What I will tell you is that when I ran for re-election in 2018 in Vermont, we put forward the strongest set of principles in terms of mandatory training, in terms of women, if they felt harassed, having an independent firm that they can go to. And I think that's kind of, the gold standard for what we should be doing. So I certainly apologize to any woman who felt that she was not treated appropriately. And of course, if I run, we will do better next time.
And I get that too, guys. I get it. I respect that response. But like I said earlier, that don't matter. That does not excuse you. It doesn't excuse your campaign. It doesn't excuse how things were handled, nor does it make anything better. It's an excuse, but it doesn't change anything. In fact, it just basically says, yeah, they're right. You didn't handle things appropriately. You didn't have things in place. And you got to do a better job because they will use everything they can to bring you down, Bernie. They want to destroy you, Bernie. You're bucking the system. You're challenging the status quo. You got to get this right. Hire people. Hire people to hire people and have levels and layers and procedures and all of that stuff. And I know you didn't think about it maybe in 2016. You probably as shocked as everybody else. I know I was shocked that a 73-year-old white guy, Jewish guy from New York or Vermont knew anything about what would, inspire, how old was I, over 40-year-old black guy in Washington, D.C., but you did. You inspired me. And I didn't expect it. I don't think you expected the whole, for what to happen. You probably expected to go out in the blaze of glory like Martin O'Malley. But that didn't happen. So yeah, you were caught flat-footed, unprepared. What I don't like is people acting like this is malicious. I don't think it was malicious. I think some people aren't as good at certain things. They're better at other things. And I think that holds true for all of us. Some of us are good at, driving. And some of us don't need to drive. Some of us get tickets all the time. You put them behind the wheel, they immediately get a ticket. Some people can cook. Some people can't cook. Some people can't boil water, right? Like some people, but they can decorate, or they can count. They're good at math, but they're not good at cooking. Like there are things that people are good at, things people are not good at. And I'm going to say this because I think it needs to be said. I also believe that some people might have an axe to grind with you, Bernie. Yeah, like the money thing. Because before we're talking about you just not being responsive, you can't be paying guys a lot more money than you pay the women, and you can't pay the whites more than you pay the blacks. That's just like asking for trouble. Hey, can I have trouble? Speaking as a black guy who took a lot of heat for supporting you, I'm going to need you to do a better job, bruh. Yes, sir, I'm going to need you to do a better job. Because, see, Bernie, you made me white. Hey, you made me white, man. That was a trending thing. Remember? Bernie made me white because they kept saying nobody black supported Bernie. I supported you. People were saying, you ain't black if you support Bernie. So I'm going to need you. Jane Sanders, I'm going to need you. I'm going to need everybody around Bernie Sanders to listen. I'm going to need you to realize this is important. I took a lot of heat. All of us did. Who did more, who got involved in the campaign. Let's do a better job. And I know you've already said you will. You're committed to doing a better job if you run. Let's just do a better job. I'm looking here. Michael Tracy's responding to this. I'm saying how they were reigniting the Bernie Bro smear campaign all over again. And yeah, that is worrisome. That's frustrating. People are already using that. And I've heard a couple of people use it. It's horrible that they would do that, right? Like, that's unhelpful, right? The whole Bernie Bro thing. First, I'm a grown-ass man, and a lot of people who supported Bernie are grown-ass people. But to call them bros, it's not cool. But I guess, we called you Hillary dames, they'd be pissed off, right? Then we'd be sexist, but you can call it Bernie bros, call you Hillary hotties. You're like, oh, that's degrading. That's degrading. See, hypocritical is what you are. Katie Halper, she commented by bringing up Hillary Clinton. On Hillary Clinton's campaign, there was a gentleman who was accused of sexual harassment, and they didn't fire him. They just relocated the person that complained, kept it moving. So, I'm not saying that makes it better, but I'm saying campaigns are corporations that are built quickly, and they need help. And Bernie needs help. So let's do a better job in 2020, because that boat will sink before it even gets going good if this happens again. All right. All right. Thanks for checking out that video. I hope you liked it. Next up, we have Congress passing the pay-go bill. Find out about that so you know what's going on with the pay-go. And also, Joe Biden's running for president. Let's talk about that. Check those two videos out. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. News for people who can't stand the news.